What deadly new diseases could you pick up by sitting down? Toilet seat terror tonight on the Six at Cast. As I live and breathe, it is a Six Sad Cast for Thursday, March 12th, 2020. On my left, I am joined once again by my good friend Manuel.
Hey, what's up?
And on my right is my other half, Sarah.
Hi.
I don't know if I said my name was Nick. My name is Nick.
You said it that time.
I said, yeah, I did. Well, me and Sarah may not have a whole lot to talk about in the past week because, we're kind of boring. We don't really
We're like Pam and Jim.
Yes. We have spent a lot of time watching The Office, and tonight we actually got 3 episodes into the final season.
How many more times are I going to watch it?
This will be like my 3rd time watching it. Mm-hmm. It's our 1st. And it's pretty good. Have you liked it so far?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Just awkward silence from Sarah.
You need to watch it. You need to watch it again at least twice.
Before they take it away off of Netflix?
Yeah. But not because of that. Just because if you guys go back to back, you miss stuff. I know you'll miss stuff. Well, I remember the first time you told me you watched it, and I would ask you about an episode, and you'd be like,
I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I would start to think.
You even said what show? I was like, The Office.
And I would start to think, did Netflix take out certain episodes? And I just never understood what the deal was. Because when they used to have
people would riot.
When they used to have Ren and Stimpy, they missed episodes. And I don't know.
Nobody would riot, though, for that.
Well, no, but I remember looking for the episode where Ren and Stimpy joined the military, the army. Because I remember as a kid, it was one of my favorite episodes. I did IMDb, looked at an episode guide, and I was like, oh, it's this season, this episode. I go to Netflix. There's the season. I look at the episodes. They're not numbered. And I go through one by one, and I'm like, oh, this is the title. And I go through all the episodes. It's not there. So then I did all the seasons. I was
so it's not numbered and the title's not there.
Yeah, conveniently, Netflix did not number the episodes. They just had the names. So I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, let me just look at the name. It's not on Netflix. I don't know how long it's been since I haven't seen that episode.
That's interesting.
Unless I'm having a Mandela effect and Ren and Stimpy in this world never joined the army for whatever reason. But yet it was featured in one of the video games on the Super Nintendo. So I know they did. Because it had to have been based on something.
They did. You looked it up and they did.
Yeah, unless it's a Mandela thing.
If you looked it up, then it's not a Mandela thing.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did y'all watch Ren and Stimpy growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
You did? No way you did.
Of course I did. I'm a Nickelodeon kid.
Well, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
I would never have pegged you to
Them and Rocko's Modern Life were very much grotesque, and I loved it.
Okay.
Until Invader Zim came along, and then it took its place.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, didn't Invader Zim come in towards the end of the life cycle of Ren and Stimpy and Rocko?
Yeah.
As they were, and then there's here's the new generation of Nicktoons. And
yeah.
He was a Nicktoon, right? Invader Zim?
That was Nickelodeon too.
He was? Okay. I didn't watch Invader Zim. Either I was getting too old for cartoons and I just aged out, or I was just like, I don't like you. When y'all were growing up, did y'all's parents have any restrictions on you as a child watching certain cartoons?
No, just no rated R movies.
Okay.
But as you heard from my gay husband before, we watched Kill Bill in my bedroom with the door open.
You were not allowed to watch Kill Bill.
No, it was rated R.
Well, I know, but it's a stark difference from watching Aliens and then Kill Bill.
Did you say gay husband?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's what he took from that whole thing.
Well, I took the term gay husband from Sex and the City because of Stanford and Carrie.
Okay.
But Sean and I, we also made this stupid agreement that if we weren't married or didn't have any kids by a certain age, we'd make it happen because we'd have cute kids.
Okay.
And we both love men, so it's totally okay. It could be an open marriage.
Oh, okay.
Totally cool. And he already has kids. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Manuel, when you were growing up, did your parents put a restriction you could watch this cartoon, but you can't watch this?
Yes, they just didn't buy cable, and that solved everything.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that limited you down to the Simpsons
mornings
and Saturday mornings
and The Simpsons every day. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man, but that takes away so much of Nickelodeon, though.
I know the whole thing.
Oh my god!
No Rugrats, no Doug, no Wild Thornberries, nothing.
They had the Rugrats on Saturday morning on ABC.
Yeah. My parents had no problem with me watching Rocko or Ren and Stimpy, and those shows were out of control. They would not want me to watch Beavis and Butthead because they swore and they were gross.
Yeah.
But when you go back and watch them, like they're just dumb, and they do gross things. But Ren and Stimpy did some really gross stuff, like picking the nose, picking in the butt, shoving things up their nose, eating bars of soap
up their nose.
Yeah.
No,
like there was an episode where Abraham Lincoln, his statue, like they hit like a hidden button, and it like went to pick the button, and Ren somehow I think got stuck on the finger of Abe Lincoln, and he got lodged in Abraham Lincoln's nose, and he was picked like a burger. They do grotesque things, and they do those extreme close-ups on like highly detailed, horrible imagery, like maggots on a piece of steak in the trash.
Oh.
And Ren and Stimpy, they're digging in the trash, and they freak out. They're like, "We have food!" And it does the high close-up, and you see the maggots just crawling on it, and they're like, "It's dinner, Ren!" And then he starts eating it, and you're just like, "Dude, that's covered in maggots." But that was okay. But Beavis and Butthead was not okay. They also didn't want me to watch The Simpsons because they swore. So when you go back and watch The Simpsons, how often do they swear in an episode?
No. What was dangerous about The Simpsons wasn't that they swore. It was that Homer was always drinking.
What could that have really been it?
Immediately you see and you're like, okay, yeah, he swears for sure. Because he's drinking.
Could my parents have also... Because in those early seasons of the Ren and Stimpy, of The Simpsons, Homer would choke Bart. He doesn't do that no more.
That's what I was going to say. So this guy drinks, and then when he chokes Bart, he doesn't just choke him silently. He says things.
Like, "I'm gonna... Why, you little..."
Yeah, you little what? You know?
Okay.
And then as he's doing it, you still hear, "What are you saying? What's that?"
Okay, so what about when Ren calls Stimpy an idiot and he slaps the piss out of him?
Because as kids, we always called each other dummy and idiot and stupid. So it's just...
Well,
and we smack our siblings.
And it is cartoon violence towards Stimpy, who's the dumb one. And like sometimes Ren would hit him with
cartoon
objects.
Violence is different from regular violence.
So is it because the Simpsons were humanoid and Ren and Stimpy were a cat and a dog that it's okay?
Right.
And they're no different from Looney Tunes. They abuse each other all the time.
All the time.
And I watched the Ninja Turtles, and to a degree there was violence on there. So it's like, why can't I watch The Simpsons?
No, but The Simpsons, it's different from like...
They were too many people.
Mm-hmm. And they were more... people-like. They did deal with more adult problems. Like, none of those cartoons that I mentioned had alcohol. And Homer loved beer.
And Beavis and Butthead actually kind of had sexual innuendos.
Yeah, they did.
So they're like, you're not watching this crap.
But every other word was a swear word.
But here's the thing about Beavis and Butthead when I was a kid watching those shows is none of those innuendos didn't register with me. The thing that stayed with me the most...
Until cleavage came into the frame.
No, I didn't even care about that. What really tickled me, the main thing about that show, was when Beavis and Butthead are sitting there and they're not even talking. They're just...
Yeah.
Like, they could do that for like 3 or 4 minutes of just giggling back and forth, and I would laugh, and my laughter would escalate of just how long are they going to keep this bit going, and it never got old. And so that is what I would watch the show for. I was like, I just want to see it. And then there was one episode where they showed a woman with her low-cut top, and she approached the boys, and their giggling intensified, and it made it funnier because you could see that they didn't know what to do. They're all talk. But when a woman presents herself to them, they don't know what to do.
They don't, yeah.
They just giggle nervously.
They're such virgins.
I'm sorry. Because then it made me think of the movie when they did America. And that was pretty great.
Well.
Did they do Beavis and Butthead Part 4, 3, 5?
No, there was just the one. There was talk about them doing another movie, but then they started talking about maybe they should do a revival show of Beavis and Butthead, and then I don't even know if that went anywhere. Manuel, has there been an update on the kids?
Paranormal stuff?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get.
I'm like jumping right to paranormal stuff? No. No. Mm-mm.
Do you think it's finally like just passed?
I don't know. We'll see.
So here's what we got to do. We got to tempt fate. If we think it's gone, we need to go to the extreme and try to offend the entity to see if they'll come back. Because then we'll know definitively, oh, it's not gone.
Okay.
So what can we do to offend an entity? What do you do?
Aggravate it?
Yeah, what do you got to do?
You call it out.
Okay. Have you done that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I specifically won't do that. But, I mean, whatever, I guess.
He's like, hey, man, what the fuck you doing? You being a little wiener? And then like a chair just flies into the TV and he goes, fuck. That was like an 80-inch television. I don't know how big your TV is.
Pretty big.
Is it 80
It's
inches?
not 80. No, it's smaller.
It's 100.
No, it's smaller.
Is it like 70?
It's 70.
Dude, that son of a bitch is big. We did. We had fun at our triple couples thing at our friend's Hector's house.
And as soon as we got home and got on the couch, we didn't want to move.
And we got back, and eventually we're just like, we should just turn it on and we can watch it here. And we even half-heartedly paid attention because we were sleepy.
Yeah.
I finally played, what was it?
Trivial Pursuit.
There you go. I've never played that game before.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah.
We played the adult and kid.
Yeah. I'm actually really dumb at the adult one. Like, I'm super dumb.
Why? Why do you say that? Why?
Like, why would I know what is the national fruit of Canada? Like, who would know that? Is that even a thing?
Yeah, do you know? Still mad I didn't get Jackson Pollock because it was right there. I just couldn't think of the douchebag's name.
Yeah, there was a question of like, this guy, he has made his whole career of literally just dropping paint and making
Onto a canvas.
And we had described it to one another like, oh, he was the Ed Hardy
Ed Hardy
of paintings.
of kids' paintings.
Who what was his name? Jackson Hewitt?
Pollock. And his paintings sell for millions of dollars. And they're literally just a kid having a tantrum throwing paint at the canvas.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I mean, some of them are nice, but literally anybody can do that.
Anybody.
It's art, bro.
Yeah, I know, but
You're not Jackson Hewitt.
so yeah, that was what it was. And so when I looked at these pictures that she pulled up and showed me, I thought, oh, okay. I mean, I could see the appeal, but this guy should not be what he is because literally anyone can do this. Not everyone can paint like a really beautiful portrait, but anyone can do that. And I just didn't get it. And so I was like, oh, he's the Ed Hardy of paintings.
It was so aggravating.
She didn't get it.
But I redeemed myself with
she
other
got it.
art questions.
Oh, I was going to say she got a question right from Sex and the City. That was pretty good.
Of course I did. Now, but it wasn't my question. It
Oh,
was
that's true.
The others' questions.
Yeah. So a game that we really want to play is Cards Against Humanity, but the Office edition,
Oh, okay.
because there is an Office edition. And
I was this close to buying license plate covers that says Dunder Mifflin Employee of the Month. I want those
That
so
would be
bad.
we found ourselves about a week ago in Baybrook Mall, and we went into Box Lunch, and they had this whole corner dedicated to Dunder Mifflin. And they had baby sippy cups, blankets. They had a robe.
They had a
I think.
robe.
You know, like remember when they gave the robes away in those little gift bags? And I was
Bro.
like,
They had the
dude.
team shirts.
Oh yeah, when they did the fun run, they had sweatshirts.
They had the
and all
hat, and they had Michael Scott's uber long title on the shirt and the hat, whatever that was.
And it was so nice to see Sarah light up about this stuff that I'd seen. It comes in and out of season, you know, and now she got to see it, and she was like, all of this stuff looks amazing. I was like, it's so good to know.
You know,
that
now
you're
I
right.
totally get it. The baby sippy cup has Dwight on it. It didn't even register with me until now. I'm finding out he
That-
thought he was having a baby with Angela. Spoiler. But apparently not.
While we were gone, you know, Robert Pattinson is going to be the new Batman movie, you know, Batman in the new Batman movie. We finally got to see pictures of his new Batmobile. What did y'all think of that?
I'm waiting for Sarah to say something.
Oh, I
But,
was yawning.
Oh,
That's how I feel about
I was
it.
gonna say she's drinking over there.
what kind of car is it? Like I saw it.
Yeah.
But didn't someone say it looked like a type of car?
It is modeled after some sort of muscle car. There are people on Instagram that have identified what it could be modeled after, some red something muscle car, and I get it. And then I saw side by sides of comics from like the 1970s where Batman didn't have this elaborate Batmobile. He drove basically a muscle car, very similar to what the Punisher drove from Thomas Jane's Punisher movie. You know, it was just a tricked out muscle car that had all these gadgets, and it was bulletproof and all that crap. And I was like, okay, look, I may not be a big fan of that type of design of a simple Batmobile, but I think they're doing the Batman Year One, so he hasn't developed this whole theatrical thing for the Batman. He just needed a muscle car, and he armored it up. But it does look like it's modeled after a version of the comic books from the 1970s. And so it looks pretty cool.
I'm sorry. Do you think this is going to take place several years after the Joker?
You know, I really hope so, that could be the big twist, because as it is right now, it doesn't look like the Joker movie and this Batman movie are going to connect. They could just throw us a curveball and say, yes, this is a somewhat side sequel to the Joker movie, because here we go, there's the Joker. Now, if we decided to make a Batman sequel, we could incorporate Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, because we don't know if he's going to come back for another Joker movie. But if they set it up,
He's too
here,
independent.
I don't know.
That he is.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna be like, "Hey man, I can't be part of this. I'm sorry." You know?
That's actually pretty good because he does kind of like he. I don't know why some actors just don't want to do sequels. Hi. Okay.
But the last time somebody was good at that role. Never mind.
Wow.
May they rest in peace.
No, I thought he was talking about Jared Leto.
No, he's talking about the Heath Ledger.
Well, a lot of people don't like Jared Leto.
Oh, you said the last
thought-
person that was good in that
was
role.
really
that
good.
was really good. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I was okay with him.
You did?
With Jared, yeah, he was fine. He didn't do bad.
Okay, so that's two.
I'm glad Joaquin was very well prepared for this because I think he actually did have therapists close by.
Oh, to make sure he didn't go off the deep end.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's always been like that, but to me, he strikes me as some guy who, I don't know.
If he's pushed, he could go over the deep end.
He's in the deep end. He's swimming, though.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
While we were gone, I went ahead and watched a trilogy of these, I don't know if they're Korean or Japanese horror movies. You ever heard of The Eye?
No.
No? Okay, well, there's an American remake that stars Jessica Alba. And the only reason I didn't watch that yet is because I had to go to Louisiana today for work. And I got that call late last night. So that means I had to wake up early to go to work, which means I couldn't stay up late. Otherwise, I would have watched it last night. Basically, The Eye is about a young woman who gets a cornea transplant or something for her eyes. She's blind. Suddenly, she could see. And like as her vision is adjusting and becoming more and more clear, she starts seeing shadowy figures that she can't make out. And she determines that these are ghosts or dark entities that take away people who have died. And you're just kind of off to the races from there. And, you know, the first one was actually pretty damn good. There are some images, and you were sleeping on the couch as I was watching this. And there were some moments where I was like, I don't really feel all that comfortable watching this. But I didn't want to wake you up to you know, make you watch this stuff
getting
with
to
me.
you?
Yeah, because, you know, our house is big. And off to the left when you're on the couch, you know, you go through this dark room and then the dark hallway. And I was just like, oh, man, I'm getting kind of nervous here watching this very effective Japanese or Korean movie. And they did good for an older movie with the budget that they had. Japanese people know how to do ghosts, man. 2 is more of the same, but instead of the girl getting a cornea transplant, she thinks her boyfriend is cheating on her or something like that, and then she tries to commit suicide, and she survives it because they get to her in time. And then from then on, she starts seeing shadowy people. So it's more or less the same thing. And that one was also pretty good. And then we get to the third movie and it was just completely different. And for this trilogy to be made by the Pang brothers, I was telling Sarah that it was about like this book. Some dude found this book of 10 stories and these group of friends started reading this book. And then suddenly the movie changed to like their personal stories. But it had almost nothing to do with like dark entities taking people. At least I didn't think it did. I don't think I interpreted this thing at all the way they intended me to. And it really felt like the redheaded stepchild out of the trilogy. And then at the end of the movie, someone else picks up the book and they start reading it. But the characters' names in the books have now changed to the characters that we were watching. And I was like, wait, so like was everything that I watched just in the book? Or did they become part of the book? I
didn't translate.
I did not understand that at all.
When Allie was at the ATM, was she really there? Like that's what it is.
So, you know, I go from 1 and 2 to being halfway decent to pretty good to part 3 where it was like it was almost a chore, but I wasn't being abused like, you know, Tremors 4.
Which one smacked you in the face, you said?
That was like Home Alone 4.
Which you got wrong. Our listeners reached out and were like, Scarlett Johansson's in the third one, not the fourth one. Did he even watch these movies?
She's not in the third one.
Or the fourth one, not the fifth one, whatever.
Okay, she's in the fourth one. She's in the one where Kevin's parents are split.
No, I think it's the third one. Anyway, there was complaints.
Well, I do apologize, but it was a baby Scarlett Johansson. So yeah, I do look forward to watching the remake with Jessica Alba, and hopefully next week I get to watch that movie, the remake of It's Alive, and finally I could get around to the newest Child's Play movie.
Scarlett Johansson is in the third one.
What?
I just looked it up.
Show it to me. Because I want to.
Someone did agree with you about being a fan of the Saw trilogy or Saw sagas.
Scarlett Johansson. Look at how much of a baby she is. Look at that baby. She could have been on a Nickelodeon Salute Your Shorts.
No.
Right there. Okay, yeah, I am a fan of the Saw movies, but I don't know if I want to sit through those all together because the story is so it's told in such a way that it's so out of order that it just gets frustrating the deeper and deeper you go. What I would like to see is some fan edit where they just ultimately put everything in chronological order, and then I will sit and watch all 50 hours or however long these, when you combine them all together.
I'm sure if you Google it, someone already did that, and just watch them in that order that they say.
Maybe there's...
I'm sure, because I did it with Paranormal Activity. I tweeted about it. I'm like, watch this one, watch that one. Do not watch the fourth one.
But see, in the Paranormal Activity movies, at least those movies within the movies don't show flashbacks or flash forwards or whatever. Kind of like, what the Saw movies do. And that's what really gets you, is you're just like, you're following the main story of whatever movie you're following this officer in this movie. But then there's also like a side story that is taking place during the events of like part 2 or 3, and here you are in part 6. And that's where, and all of the movies tend to do that, and it just gets so confusing because you go so far in the franchise and you're like, wait a minute, this guy was setting up something all the way in Saw 2? Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
They start pulling stuff out of their ass just because they can, and you're just thinking like, it feels like you're cheating. You're just making stuff up.
I feel like you're Fast and the Furious, but I can't put my finger on it yet. Unless they bring back that guy. What was his name? Khan?
The dude that allegedly died? Yeah, there you go. Han. That's what his name was.
Unless they bring him back from the dead.
Which apparently they did.
You know what? Maybe I should sit. I mean, look at everything that I've watched. Maybe I should just sit and watch the Fast and Furious movies.
You saw Home Alone 5.
I did.
Or you said you did.
I did watch
I feel like I'm not trying to crucify you here, but your apology is, weak on the whole.
What apology?
When you're like, sorry.
On what?
About the Home Alone thing.
Oh, okay, fine. She was in part 3 and not in part 4. I could have sworn she was in part 4.
But she was in part 3. And you're like, no, you doubled down. You're like, no. It's the fourth one. I'm like, well, fuck, then I got it wrong.
But I think we could all agree that just don't go past part 2. If you're curious of where Kevin goes after part 2, his parents get divorced and just, I guess, watch part 4.
But everybody saw part 3 because of part 1 and 2. All eyes were on part 3.
Yeah, I want to say that maybe that one, because that did go to theaters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I didn't. When I remember seeing the trailer growing up as a kid and thinking that doesn't look like anything what I would have expected, but I also wouldn't have thought they're really not going to do that to Kevin again, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I saw it was a different kid, and I was like, oh no, this is Goof Troop. I'm not watching.
You're like, oh, this is straight to DVD.
That's
and then
what it felt like.
You looked at the camera and you broke the fourth wall.
Well, in February, we had a leap year, and it's every 4 years that we have a leap year. Did you know that there was a tradition of women proposing on leap year?
Oh, there's a movie about that.
Really? What's it called? Is it called Leap Year?
And it has Amy Adams in it.
Dang.
I love that movie.
So because it's a leap year, they propose?
Yeah. There is a tradition of women proposing on leap year.
That's so weird.
I know, but we also have an International Donut Day. That's not weird.
I was going to say BJ Day. I was like, it's coming up.
Well, there is that thing, steak and a BJ Day. But anyway, speaking of Amy Adams, she's never seen Enchanted?
I saw Enchanted. You just it never called you.
No. I really think, do you think she'd enjoy it?
No, not anymore. When it came out, it was like, okay, cool. Check it out, but now, I don't know.
Okay.
What else does that? Something else is like, oh, now it's not even that great.
Yeah, I think it was called Can't Hardly Wait, because I showed that to her, and I had built it up so high, and then she watched it, and she was like, it was all right.
Oh, man. Some things are in the moment, in the time, and then otherwise it's like, kind of like, someone said that about Michael Jackson's funeral. Like, you watched all of it because it was at the time. It was
Michael Jackson's
happening.
Funeral?
Yeah, but you would never watch it again. Like, you would never sit down and be like, I want to see the whole thing.
Well, you know what? I've never gone on YouTube to watch the funeral of Princess Diana. Although, a couple of years ago, I did pull up the clip of when Jim Henson died. And I watched a part of his funeral because Big Bird actually went out there and gave a speech.
Big Bird?
As Big Bird. That was kind of hard to watch, bro. Because he goes out there and he's wearing like, that little, is it a bonnet that he would wear on his neck? Like if he's dressed up in a suit. So he went out there dressed like that. And he gave a little short speech. And at the very end, he thanked Jim, and he said like, we'll miss you or something like that. And I was watching the clip and I thought, God damn it, this is hard to watch. Why did I even watch this? I think what had happened was I was going through a rabbit hole of like Muppets of like how they do it, and I watched a documentary on it and blah blah, and it led to clip after clip, and I was like, oh, Jim Henson's funeral. Click. That was a bad idea.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that's what YouTube does. But okay, so our calendar contains 365 days, and it takes the Earth 365.25 days to orbit around the sun. This is why every 4th year we add an extra day to February to keep things consistent. On this 29th day of February, some women have taken the tradition of marriage proposals and flipped it on their men. It is believed that the leap year proposing takes place or dates back to the 5th century, and an Irish nun called Saint Bridget, who was sick of women waiting around for their men to get it together and propose, so she lobbied to St. Patrick to allow women to do it instead. For he did it for once every 4 years. He's like, okay, I will allow this, but you get once every 4 years, woman, make it happen.
Yes.
But the agreement meant that Patrick added a small requirement in the terms and conditions designated to warn men who weren't ready to get on their knee for marriage. The rule states that the men can run. Yeah, the rule states that a woman has to wear breeches or a scarlet petticoat, and this would give men advance notice that if they wanted to flee, they could. And a survey of 2,700 people found that more than a quarter of women said that they would propose on the leap year, and more than a third found the idea to be sexist, but 48% said that they were happy with the tradition. So, any woman out there who wants to follow the tradition to a T, you could do it on the leap year, but you have to wear breeches or a scarlet petticoat.
You mean breeches?
It says breeches. Breeches.
I think that's breeches.
Those are breeches? Would you say those are breeches? Because that's what I thought it was, but I was like, let me spell it as is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to spell it.
It's probably just
I'm
accent.
pretty sure it's
Yeah,
breeches.
breeches.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted to say, but I'm like, I don't know what a breech is, but I also don't know what cricket is.
Yeah.
Okay, so a scarlet petticoat, that's just like a sort of blazer? Is that what that is?
Or like a long-tailed petticoat.
Oh, like if someone's going to go and play the piano, they have the thing? Is that a
think
petticoat?
so.
Okay, so yeah, you got to wear a scarlet red one, I guess.
Sarah, would you propose?
Yeah.
Would you wear the petticoat?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't propose on a leap year?
No, I just want to know like what women think, or like if they think that like it's taboo or they shouldn't do it. But you just said immediately you would.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would totally pull a Miranda, just not proposing to Steve over $2 beers.
Oh, is that how that happened?
You don't remember?
It's been a while. Because
they
I
had
remember...
already had their baby, of course, so they reunited.
Okay.
And she said, "Marry me." And he says, "What?" She says, "Yeah, marry me. Like, why not? We want to be those old folks, like, yelling at each other and bickering when they're 80 and stuff like that." He says,
Yeah.
"Hell yeah." So she proposed to Steve over $2 beers.
Nice.
Who's Miranda and Steve?
Miranda is the tall redhead lawyer.
She had the short
and Steve was the cute bartender.
Off of a movie? I don't know.
No,
Which
Sex and
Oh,
the City.
yeah.
The TV show.
Oh. I'm like, so again? I was like, I want to ask again the same question. But I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Personally, I have no problem with women doing it. It is, I bet it's quite the surprise. If you just do it to the man, they're just like, wait a minute.
I guess I don't have a problem with the role switching either way, whatever way. But I want to know. I guess I'm kind of hoping or was wishing one of us was against it so that I could ask why.
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I can pretend like it bothers me.
Or why do you think it would bother somebody? Like, or look,
I would rather be proposed to, so I can live that fantasy like every other girl. But if I'm tired of waiting, I'll just do it.
right?
But you
I
got to
have
do
no
the
problem.
petticoat. Just kidding.
Then go buy me one.
It's not on the leap year. Where do I find a petticoat?
Good luck.
I go into Plato's closet, boom,
Nick
and I'm
goes
like,
and buys you one, so he knows you're proposing, which means he's okay with you proposing. He's gonna say yes. So why doesn't he just do
but
it?
it has to happen on the leap year. So like if 4 years, we just had one.
This was your chance. No,
Was it like 2024, baby?
Nope.
Is when she can do it.
I'm not waiting that long.
when Trump ends.
Nope.
Oh yeah, honey.
Another
if,
Trump.
If one of us proposes to the other, it's got to be on the other side of this whole Trump thing. We got to be clear of this. Ain't happening.
I'm not waiting. I've already told you that. I'm not waiting.
He wins this election, over Dwayne Johnson, and I'm just like, I don't know how the fuck he did it.
I told Nick it's over. Like it's his fault.
I think we should go our separate ways.
She goes. Dwayne lost by 1,200 votes. And you pissed yours away on the independent? I'm like, I thought he had something.
You know, I just don't like, I don't like the big parties.
And Sarah's just like, it was Dwayne Johnson with Tom Hanks as his backup. Literally the dream team. And you went with the independent. I don't know, man.
There have been a lot of like funny, you know, pairs of president and vice president. Like Kanye West said he would do. Who he said somebody, but Kanye is president, right? And then there's one with Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that would be a good one.
And then there were like several, right? Would they actually beat Donald Trump? They would, right?
Dude, Bill
Would
Murray.
they beat out Donald Trump?
Yeah, like
You know,
another celebrity.
If Kanye was going against Trump, I think I would vote independent, because you go from one crazy to another crazy who thinks he's a genius. I don't know.
They're both geniuses. Listen to them.
Okay.
Ask them.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, if you asked me and I thought, you know, I invented the wheel and I was sly enough, I could probably convince you that I invented the wheel. But I didn't invent the wheel.
You say it enough.
Thank goodness Trump is a Cancer and not a Gemini like Kanye, but still it's just as bad.
That could be playing a big role. Like, can you imagine if Kanye really did? I mean, he sells a lot of shoes, and people like his concerts.
I mean, people need shoes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't need those kind of shoes. I mean, I'm
Those
cool with
shoes
spending.
are expensive, bro.
I'm cool. I'm a $30 shoe guy.
How much do you think these Yeezys go for?
Probably
$300.
More.
That's sad. That's sad.
And these are like crazy.
For just fabric, shoe ties, and soles.
And they don't even tie them half the time.
No.
A lot of these kids don't tie their shoes anymore. You remember back in the day, in our day, when you didn't want to tie your shoe, you bought those plastic
Velcro?
No, you bought those shoelaces that like spiraled at the
Oh,
end. And all you
yeah.
did was kind of twist them. You didn't even have to tie a knot because they were twisty. They just kind of tied themselves, and you're just like, boom.
Yep.
You know, they're like scrunchy laces.
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember you just pull.
Yeah. How dope was that? Of course, I didn't do that because I was like, I don't want to be part of the trend. I know how to tie my shoes. Thanks. Bye. And then
But you were jealous. You were looking from afar.
And then they came out with something that I was always jealous because I knew I had terrible balance. Heelys.
I was about to say I always wanted a pair of Heelys, and my sweet mom, she tried her best, but she got me like these janky, ugly knockoff ones that had the stupid little like regular
But she
rollerblades.
thought they were the ones, right?
Probably.
Because after
I was like,
Heelys
"No,
came
Mommy."
out, there were third-party people trying to do the same
course.
thing.
I'm
And
gonna jump
so,
on
And
it.
these
No.
stupid shoes, those stupid things kept popping out every time I walked, and so I just quit wearing them. Sorry, Mom.
man. You know, also when I was a kid, this is the type of kid I was. When I saw that Nickelodeon was getting behind the product of trampoline shoes, that's the shoe I wanted.
Oh,
Do you remember those?
I don't.
those are a hazard.
They were bro. So they were like
What do you mean trampoline shoes?
They were like this tall, right? And they had
Okay,
basically
for those of you who don't know how this tall means, it's
It
like
was,
a 2-liter Coke.
Yeah. Okay, so you're basically like you put your foot on a platform, right? And you strap your foot onto a trampoline canvas that has tiny springs, and you could jump wherever you want. It was basically a tiny trampoline on your foot. Horrible idea.
Or like a
Why-
pogo stick without the stick.
Okay, but
Yeah.
why was it a horrible idea?
because you could roll your ankle, bro.
Hazard. You trip.
You
fall on
could.
your face.
And imagine if you didn't want to jump anymore. You got tired. You wanted to walk. You had to like clop yourself around.
A
Like-
2-liter Coke is pretty high.
And it's awkward, especially when you're a kid. Your motor skills ain't there yet, bro.
Yeah.
I'm 33. If you put me on that, I'd probably die. Although I'd be pretty happy for like 5 minutes. And then I'm like, you know what, Sarah, this is a bad idea. Can we take these off now?
I thought you were going to say that they took them out of the market because people started, robbing places or reaching places that they shouldn't. Or, like it got into the bad hands.
You can see a kid in Radio Shack and he's just jumping really high and he's like, I got this.
I got the
Walkman. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he just kangaroos his ass out the front door.
Right, or parents putting something on top of the fridge, like, nope, you can't have this today, whatever.
And then he's
now
like, okay.
they can.
He's like, I got my trampoline shoes, bitch.
This is
I'm going to get that cookie jar on top of the fridge.
it's all about marketing, man.
Ay. Okay, so, before we hit record, you did mention a dream that I had talked about briefly in the chat thread. Could you tell us briefly what that dream was? Because I never told her, because I didn't think that it'd be something that she cared about. So I just
So Nick said that he had a dream about the XFL and the NFL, and he said that he described it as like, for some reason, the NFL would have like a day of pity and would play an XFL team, and it wouldn't even be a good NFL team. I think Nick mentioned it was the Dolphins.
It was a low ranked team.
A low ranked NFL team that gave us a pity game against one of our top guys, and that's pretty much the dream. I don't know if you want to go into more details, but it was one
of these things that, you know, if you ever started a dream and you go into the dream and there's all this meta knowledge that you just know that has already happened that led up to this point, and now in your dream you're going to live out the moments from this point to the finish, you know? So when the dream started, I knew this was going to be the first game, and the leagues were thinking of doing it every 4 years. Why don't we take one of your top teams and play them against one of our lowest ranked teams? Because you got to understand, the best XFL team will get destroyed easily by even the medium level teams in the NFL.
We think that would
I don't
happen.
think so.
Yeah,
I mean, anything can really happen in sports,
right?
But if like the Green Bay Packers or the New England Patriots played even the Houston Roughnecks, who are undefeated, the Roughnecks would probably get embarrassed. Like there's a high chance that would happen, because these guys the NFL is like the cream of the crop. Anybody who is the very top of their position plays in the NFL, and there's only so many players. You know, XFL, they got like basically the leftovers that couldn't make the cut. So the game went into this game, and it was they would do bumpers into the commercials, and the XFL teams, the guys would do interviews, and they're like, it's an honor to take the field against a team like the Dolphins. They were the first ones to go undefeated, but we have something to prove. We don't want to be we don't want to embarrass the XFL. And then they'd show the Dolphins, and they're like, we have the NFL behind us. We need to represent them well.
Represent the NFL.
Basically, don't get embarrassed by this minor league team, you know? And so both teams had a lot going for it, and they mixed matched the rules, and the announcers were mixed, and it was just fucking great. And the first,
one announcer from the XFL, one announcer from the NFL.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the first half of the game was like 38-10. The Dolphins were just destroying them. And then in the third quarter, it was like 40-something to like 28. So like the Roughnecks were getting better. And then in the fourth quarter, the Dolphins got off. They let their foot off the gas, and the Roughnecks like fucking caught up. And in the final 90 seconds of my dream, the Roughnecks tied the game. And the announcers were like hitting it home that the Dolphins could truly embarrass themselves. And they were comparing it worse than like teams that go winless the whole season. They're like, if the Dolphins lose to this team, I mean, they're good. Look what they've done. Like, it'll be good for them, but it'll be bad for the league. And I never got to see who won the game. It was inside of like the final 45 seconds when the dream just kind of ends. And I don't know what happened, but it was like easily one of the greatest things.
That's his dream.
Sports things that I was witnessing. It was so fucking cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
When I have dreams, there's not even that much detail, or I just don't remember them.
Okay, so in your lifetime, collectively between the two of y'all don't have like those
movie?
Like defining dreams that you're just like, I'm never going to forget how great this dream was.
No, not at all.
Do you have anything like that?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mentioned it last week where I actually had
Was it when
dreams
you
with Lady Gaga.
Oh, okay. So it's one of those dreams.
Yeah.
One of her life-altering dreams is also a wet dream.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, those are impactful.
And I'm sure that
I've had 3 of those.
And I'm sure that has a lot of detail, right?
I mean,
Obvi.
I'm not getting into that.
Okay.
I don't kiss and tell.
Okay, let me ask you
kiss
this.
and tell.
Some people have reoccurring dreams where the same thing happens time and time again. Okay, these 3 times that you've, gotten it with Lady Gaga, are they all different?
They're different scenes, yes.
Okay, so like one night y'all went out for pizza and then it just got hot and heavy. The next time y'all went grocery shop, y'all went like to the mall and she was like, honey, I'm going to buy you these shoes and then I'm going to see you in those shoes.
No.
And then that's how that happens.
No, I have had...
What? Right.
I have had a recurring dream, but right now, for some reason, I can't remember it. Because I only had this dream twice.
Of not having... This was a different dream.
This is a different dream.
Okay. It's not scary?
But it's not a great dream. Most of the dreams I remember besides that are pretty sad.
Oh.
And they deal with me...
Sad what?
Like a big place. So either like a mall or an airport kind of a thing.
What, do you get lost or something?
I get abandoned.
So, like... What?
And I'm chasing after the person who's abandoning me. God,
Oh,
that
okay.
says a lot.
Like,
Okay.
come back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for whatever reason, I'm thinking, oh, you're this dream is set, and you're a child, and you get separated from your parents, and it's so crowded.
No, I'm an adult.
You can't get to your parents again. Oh, okay.
No, I'm an adult.
Okay, and have you had any type of like nightmares or weird dreams or nothing?
No, just that lion one that I told you guys about, and working at Jack in the Box. But I don't think those are not dreams to like.
Oh,
Whatever.
So you have, I mean, when I was working at a restaurant, you have a hostess dream, which I had.
Okay.
I had the takeout dream,
Okay.
which was almost the same, only I had a computer with orders. Then I had my server dream, which I've had several times.
And these are dreams of positions that you did not hold.
No, I did.
You held all those jobs?
Yeah. I was a hostess. I worked in, this is all at Gringos too.
Oh, okay.
She's told
Hostess,
us.
takeout, and then waitress. And then, of course, I was a waitress at BJ's. I had a bad dream there too.
Yeah.
And then I even had a bad dream when I was working the front desk for my job I work at right now.
Okay, so I guess we've all had those dreams where you've had a job that is that is like stressful to a level, to a degree, and then you go home and you dream about the job that you have, and you're just like,
But is it because it's stressful? That's not.
okay, they were nightmares, and it was me working a grocery supply, doing the job that I literally just hated, earlier hours ago. Came home angry, go to bed angry that I have to wake up early and do it all over again, and then you have a dream. That's really what makes the days blend together, because you're just like, it doesn't feel like it ever ends. And, the last thing I want to dream about is the job that I did not like. Just to wake up and be like, God damn it, I got to go back to the job I don't like.
I actually enjoyed working at Jack in the Box. So
Well, you guys were always properly staffed. My position was not. And that
we were
had a
not
lot.
properly staffed.
Really? There was always like at least 5 people back there.
Yeah, you need like.
But I don't know how much it takes to run
Right,
a
like, you
kitchen. I
need
don't know.
The 2 cooks, so there goes 2.
Okay. One person
in
at the
front
window.
counter. That was
And
one.
one at the drive-thru.
Okay.
Well, one encounter taking orders, one encounter doing the orders, and
Okay.
then 3 on drive-through.
Oh,
And then who's on fryers? Who's prepping?
Toby.
Toby, he's in the annex. Yeah.
All right. So today's episode, we're going to discuss Dear Diary entries. And I went and pulled some from that I found online that were written by children. And then I found some written by angsty teenagers. Sarah found a lengthy one that was, you said scary? Mm-hmm. Okay. And Manuel has, what is it again about the guy being an asshole?
But it was, am I the asshole?
Oh, okay. And that it's just a guy questioning his everyday activities.
Some person.
Okay. Who would like to go first?
Because it was like, am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she's not going to be at my daughter's graduation?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, it depends. What did she do? Like, is it just because she's the mother-in-law, or
And this guy's just telling her, you will not come.
right? There's no context. I'm like, then yes, you're the asshole. Like, that's grandma.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless she's always drunk.
Right. Like, unless like we don't know. And
I mean,
but there's no context.
The mother-in-law or whatever, she's going to think he's an asshole. But, if you're an embarrassment to the family, you're
right. Like, you're always drunk, mom.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, it's one of those things like we literally cannot take you anywhere.
So then, no, you're not the asshole. But what if it's just because she's your mother-in-law? Then yes, you're the asshole.
Well, isn't there that thing where like you're not supposed to like your mother-in-laws?
A lot of people don't.
There's always one set that you don't like.
Oh, okay. Okay, here's another question. Is it true that deep down inside all women hate each other?
Yes.
Did you see the look
the
on her
pause.
face? Did you see her lip purse? And then she goes, yes. That's what did it.
Because if you're a jealous, insecure bitch like me, yes, I've hated a lot of women. That's really what it stems from. We always find something about other women to be jealous about, and we hate them for it.
Wow.
That's I can see that.
And they can, like, even though the person always gives to charity, they adopt from animal shelters.
bitch.
Yeah.
Like the bitch that went over George Clooney. Why her?
That went over George Clooney.
I'm exaggerating.
Oh,
Good for
okay.
her. She's a smart, intelligent woman. He picked a good woman. Like, he waited for her. Good job.
That could have been Stacy Keibler, bro.
She was on her
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was well on her way.
Isn't it crazy that
Because they
David...
dated for a long time.
Isn't it crazy that David Flair, like, hooked up with Stacey Keibler? Like, what the fuck, bro?
I mean, right place, right time. You know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, God damn it. You look at Stacy Keibler and you look at David Flair. Like, come on. What? Maybe he's really funny. We don't know. I've never met the guy.
Madison was looking at a picture of Becky Lynch a day ago, or on Monday Night Raw, or on the pay-per-view day.
Okay.
And instead of saying, like, where has she been? Has she been doing good? She's like, I think she had a nose job.
But
Like,
Becky Lynch?
yeah. And I was like, I don't.
no, it's just called good contouring.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And then she pulled. Dude, I said no, I don't think so. I don't know. And like 10 minutes later, she's showing me old pictures of Becky Lynch. She's like, yeah, she did. And I guess that, with the whole women don't like women.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what? Just talk about she's a wrestler. Like, talk about that. Instead, it was like she had a nose job.
Wow. It wasn't like, oh, did you see her on Raw wearing the Elton John glasses with the fuzzy coat and the belt? Who the fuck does she think she is?
Right.
Like, that was a great look, though, because then she took JR's crown. And that just, like, over the top. I was like, this girl is fucking money. She needs to just walk around everywhere just like that.
You said JR's crown.
Oh, I did. Yeah, King's crown. Jerry Lawler's crown.
Check this out, JR.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, we knew what I meant.
I used to get those two names confused all the time.
Yeah.
Just like Edge and Christian.
Wait, you used to get them mixed up?
I did. And then Jericho, because they all had long blonde hair at one time. Well, no, Christian always had short hair, right?
No, they all did have long blonde hair.
Okay, so see, I used to always get them confused.
What about Val Venus? He had that long blonde hair.
No.
But he was also,
No.
What, there was
different blonde.
There was one thing that set him apart from the pack.
Douche.
No, what? No, I was going to say the big Valboski.
Okay, honey.
And the fact, and she was like, what, the towel that he wore?
Let's get back on track.
Oh my god! No, I get hers. They were all that beach blonde, like.
But Val Venus didn't fit into that mold.
No, he didn't have beach blonde.
He had
just
blonde hair.
Yeah, but not like them. Okay. So, I'm gonna read off a few of these, and then I guess we can answer them. And all of them start with the Ayata. Am I the asshole for not wanting my husband's friend at the birth of my child?
It depends on who the friend is.
Okay, yeah, I mean, out of context, so you wouldn't mind if Nick had, I was going to say Emar, but maybe Zach, I don't know, at the birth of your child? Y'all's child?
Like, in the birthing room? I don't even want Nick in there.
That's what they meant. Yeah,
I thought, like, that's a thing. Like
I want my mommy in there. If I were to have a child while she's alive.
Okay, so I'm just chopped liver. That's cool.
Honey, you can't even stay on the side of blood.
Yeah, but it'd be different because,
it's
it's my child.
It's y'all's child.
Yeah.
If you can handle it, I'd love for you to be
here's
in
the
there.
thing. Like,
but my mommy has to be in there.
Like, here's the thing. Like, if okay, so this actually happened at Walmart. I've told you the story about when Zach busted his mouth and he lost a tooth or whatever.
Yeah.
Horrible accident. All right. Blood was going everywhere. He busted his tooth.
Doing what?
He was pushing, pushing a row of baskets, and somebody was up front. I was watching the cars for traffic. So I cleared a path. He got down and he pushed because it was a big row, got to get down. And the person that was guiding them didn't pull the front hard enough, and it slipped and it veered off to the left and it hit one of those concrete pillars, like for the sign or whatever. Zach doesn't know because he's down, he's pushing. He hits the pillar and it just goes down the whole row of baskets. It goes all the way to the back. And by the time Zach hears something, he looks up and the rattle backfires on his face and the push bar hits him in the mouth. I run over to Zach and I'm like, dude, are you okay? And he goes, and he spits and I hear skip off of the pavement. I knew those were teeth and I fucking shut down because I didn't know what to do. I wanted to run for help. I wanted to see if he was okay. And then he moved his hand out of the way and there was just blood coming down his chin. Then I almost got sick because I couldn't fucking look at it.
Even if I were to start bleeding from like a finger or something, he'd be like, huh?
But the crazy thing is that
just tell him he can be in there. He'll see himself out.
Here's what I'll do. I'll live stream it from your phone to my phone, and I'll be in the other room and I'll be like, huh?
Thank you.
Because the crazy thing is that if it had happened to me and I busted my mouth, I'd be cool with it because it's my blood. The fact that it was somebody else's blood is what. I don't know what that's called, but yeah, I freaked out. And Zach was like, go get help. And I was like,
help me.
I kept looking at him in a way. I'm like,
dying.
I looked at the store like, I got to run in the store. I got to find a manager. I got to tell somebody. Thankfully, the person at the front was like, I'll go get help. And I was like, you do that.
Please.
And I was like, I should help Zach. I can't even touch Zach because I will.
Zach tries to like hold on to you, like try to like not fall over, and you're like keep.
And there's like a bloody handprint on my shoulder, and I'm just like.
You see what I mean?
So this accident sounds insane. Wow.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not allowed in the operating.
No. She says you can.
Please, I would love for you to be in there, but knowing how you deal with blood and pus and any other bodily fluids, I just don't know if you can handle it. You can barely even handle the cat vomit.
Because it's disgusting.
Yeah, I know,
So-
and I still have to clean it up.
That is
But
your
if
cat.
Nick could handle it and he wanted somebody there with him, like his friend, husband's friend.
No.
Not in the room. I mean, if they want to come and hang out in the lobby, I guess. But that, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd imagine that
See,
those,
I need more though.
I'd imagine that those invites go to like my parents, her
this
parents.
says my
hey.
husband's friend at the birth of our child. So I'm assuming in the room.
That's what I think too, and I'm like, no.
Okay, so in the room,
weird.
no.
And they only allowed a certain number of people.
No, but I know people that are like it's like the husband and his buddy, and his wife is the one having a kid.
Creepy.
I know. See, that's so weird. That's
Creepy.
so weird. I don't know.
It's
Because
I
we
think
do a
they say
podcast together, Manuel. I guess you're in. Come on.
The 6 cast is there. I'm just on my phone.
And then we take a picture.
He takes a picture of it happening and he posts it, but it's all blurred out
On
you don't even-
Twitter?
so you don't even know what it is. Just like, dude, this is happening. And
Just
it's-
my legs up.
It's all you see is ankles,
But it's just blocks.
It's literally all pixels, and you're like, I don't know what's happening here.
Oh. 6 cast.
And then of course, like it's the three of us, and like your mother's there, so it's like, do we include her in the picture? I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
She's upset we're taking the picture. She's like,
The look on her face.
yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be great.
But I totally need my mom in the room.
Okay.
For sure.
So that way,
A
that way, like the two of you collectively can just yell at me. This is your fault. You fucking did this, and you know, that's what I think.
Well,
Read 'em
see,
up.
I love for Nick to be in there because he actually calms me down when I'm having a panic attack. I don't know how he's able to do it because before.
You've never been with me to a hospital, have you?
No,
Oh, I'm a lot of fun at a hospital.
I bet.
I make jokes everywhere.
Okay, well, you can't make jokes when I'm like yelling my head off, like trying to get the thing out.
Oh, man.
It's not gonna work.
As she's yelling, I nudge the doctor. I'm like, she sounds like a tea kettle, doesn't she? That sort of
I
thing.
feel like she's going to grab you by your shirt.
I'm sorry, Sarah.
So I would feel if anyone can calm me down or just be very good support, it'd be him.
It'd be Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But since mommy's been through it 3 times,
Yeah.
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would be like, look, Nick, I think the best thing you could do is just go downstairs and get us some sandwiches. Okay. I could do that.
You come back, baby.
You call and you're like, I'm lost. I don't even know where you guys are at.
Y'all are in the, is it maternity ward or paternity ward? Which one is it?
You're stupid.
No, honestly, which one is it?
Maternity.
I might as well
know.
get that out of the way now. So what is paternity?
Father.
Really?
Yes.
Not that he's giving
So
birth.
I go to the paternity ward, which is for the fathers, and I go in there. I'm like, "Oh, did you guys all get lost too?" And they're like, "Yes."
Yeah. Did
God.
Did your wife send you for sandwiches? Their slogan is, "It's a dad thing." It's a dad world.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
So then you would not be the asshole then for this one. I'm gonna put not asshole.
Not.
yeah, I mean, there's got to be a reason why you don't want more.
That's creepy, dude.
It is strange.
Am I the asshole for watching a horror movie on the plane with a kid next to me?
Nope.
No.
Kid's fault for looking.
Oh, dang, that was quick.
Because if you give the kid a fair, is it your kid or a stranger's kid?
No, it's a kid, and we don't know. It's a kid.
It's
Okay.
public domain. You can watch and listen to whatever you want. Just don't listen to it on speaker. Nobody wants to hear what you're doing.
No. I would. If I was watching a horror movie on a plane or whatever, yeah, I would have my earbuds in. But I guess I would give a fair warning to the child. It's like, all right, now I need to tell you, this is a zombie movie. Someone will get their head ripped off. Someone's stomach will get torn out.
The kid just flipped you
Zombie.
off.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, you little fucker. I'm gonna switch from this zombie movie to The Exorcist, and that'll shut him up.
And then he tells you, like, okay, can you stop talking? I'm about to record a TikTok.
God damn it.
Am I the asshole?
At that point, it's just like, you deserve what's coming. You deserve the nightmares that are coming to you.
Like, I was going to watch how Nick and Sarah's Infinite playlist or something.
No,
That's Nick and Nora's.
Nick and Nora.
You know what I mean.
No.
And I'm just like, now I'm watching The Exorcist.
Yeah, I was gonna watch that, but yeah, now I'm watching something else.
I have told Sarah that, if and when we have children, when they get to I have a physical horror movie collection. I don't plan on hiding it or getting rid of it because then we got to find room for it. And I'm like, it's already on the shelf.
You have a big attic.
Oh my God. I have said, I was like, look, if the child gets curious after I've already told them no, and they go and they watch this stuff, I think that we should have that talk now if it's going to be my fault or their fault. Because I don't want to be like in the position of, I told you they were going to watch those damn movies. I told you to put them away. And I'll be like, we don't have the room. We literally don't have the room. We could just leave them on the shelf.
You can't say that in
Like
this
I told
house.
the kid, I told him, no, don't watch this.
This is a big house. You can't say that in this house.
What made y'all think we're gonna be here?
Oh. Well, yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying like we'd still be here. I'm just saying I don't know if wherever we end up, where would we find the room to hide my movies? Because I don't want to get rid of them. I'm a physical collector.
Maybe you could sell them and feed your kid.
No, it does not bother me. They're gonna be at a relative age.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're going to find these movies when they're 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're not even gonna know what they're looking at.
I certainly did.
Maybe Blu-rays won't even. You wouldn't even have a Blu-ray player. You just hide the Blu-ray player and only bring it out when you're ready to watch.
He's got a point, maybe.
Yeah.
But
But I'm sorry. If they're gonna be anything like me, they're not even gonna notice.
okay.
They're really not.
I mean, because when my parents told me, no, don't watch Twister, and I was a kid, I'm like, I'm going to watch Twister.
I'm gonna watch
And-
the cow fly through the air.
The part that was, I liked Twister up until the point when they go to the outdoor movie theater, the drive-in, and they're watching The Shining. That was my introduction to The Shining.
Aw.
So in an action movie, I see the twins down the hallway. Fucking creepy. And so, as that scene's unraveling, I'm trying to watch, what is that movie they're watching? What is this? And then all of a sudden, Jack Nicholson's cutting a door down with an axe, and I was like, that's the Joker.
That's the Joker.
And then when I learned it was The Shining, somehow I convinced someone to get me the movie so I could watch it, and that was a bad idea.
Bad idea, jeans.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is, am I the asshole for making my friend upset because I told her that her comment was weird?
No. You're being a genuine friend.
I wish we had more. I don't know. But now, okay, let's think of Michael Scott. This sounds like something that would happen to Michael Scott.
He would feel weird, or he would.
No, he would be the one making that comment to their friend.
And so someone's got to be like, hey, man, don't say that, man. It's weird.
I feel like we use the word weird. We overuse the word weird, though, for everything. Our vocabulary stops at a certain point, and then everything we don't know what to call it, it's that's weird.
I wish we had context. But no, I don't think you're an asshole for trying to prevent an awkward situation from getting way out of control.
Yeah, okay. So not.
No.
Am I the asshole for not letting 2 old men sit with me at Starbucks? I guess there was no room. Aw. Is this seat taken? Yeah. Beat it.
Oh.
I would probably be polite and say, yeah, go ahead. I actually have to leave.
You would leave rather than...
Yeah.
So Sarah would sacrifice her time.
We're young and spry. I mean, if I was on a subway or something like that and there was an older person, male or female, and I'm sitting, fuck, I could stand and let me hold that little rope. Hey,
Right.
you old timer, get over here. Let me do this.
So then, yes, that one is an asshole.
Probably, but we also don't know if the dude was having a genuinely bad day and he just wanted to be left alone.
Am I the asshole for not inviting my unemployed friend to work with me, knowing he needs a job?
Inviting your unemployed friend to work?
Yeah,
It depends on their work ethic. Why are they unemployed and how long?
lay it off,
Was
But
it
yeah.
downsizing? Because that's not no one's fault.
That's
really.
not no one's fault. That is no one's fault.
Yeah.
Not no one's fault. Would be everybody's fault, right? It's not no one's fault.
It's not anyone's fault.
Okay.
I mean, it could be fault at the feet of management, but still, when you start downsizing, the people that are let go have nothing to do with that.
Right. Someone made the decision.
Man, I don't know. Did they start fights? Did they touch someone?
This is what I mean. These one sentence things are not, I would say yeah. Because if they suck at work or whatever, then they'll let them go. But at least I gave you, I gave you.
No, because that makes you look bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true too. You
because
put
your
yourself-
boss is like, you vouched for this person.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, bro?
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna be that friend again, and just not tell you that a job is available.
Yeah.
See, one of my very best friends, she works with me, and I totally vouch for her still because I know she's hardworking,
Yeah.
and she was perfect for the job.
I did not think that's how this story was gonna go.
Because
Like,
deep down, all women hate each other.
No. She was like, well, that's like my friend. I vouched for her, and I thought it was gonna
And
go
then
south from there.
this
Like,
No.
bitch.
stop showing up. She didn't even call in.
All of a sudden, we started missing towels.
Oh, dang.
And then...
What's
there
worse,
was-
stealing or no show?
Stealing.
Stealing.
That's automatic termination, whereas not showing up, you get a warning or a write-up or whatever.
What
dumb
happened to
shit.
you?
Hey, what was the animal that showed up at your job? It wasn't a possum. Was it
Wait,
a raccoon?
what? Possums are following you.
Yeah, we had raccoons.
You had raccoons that came down into the
Yep.
rooms and started messing with stuff? Okay. I
No,
forgot.
no. We had a mouse.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
y'all have also had a raccoon.
No, we thought we had a raccoon.
Okay.
Isn't there video?
No. We only have cameras in the
Lobby.
lobby and then part of the hallway in front of the laundry room.
Oh, well, where was the stuff moved? I would figure the lobby, but no, I guess in
So-
one of the rooms.
At the night, during the night, we'd leave the doors open for ventilation and stuff. So for whatever reason, it would come out through the ceiling in the break room. Can't find food, so it actually goes for the chocolate in the rooms that are on the tables. So we see these little bitty footprints, and we only see them in a few rooms. So we did think we had a raccoon because the feet print matched, but no, it was mice or a rat, whatever it was.
Rats are outside, right?
Depending on how big they are.
Yeah, I think it's the size.
Oh, funny thing. She booted up her old phone because, when I got my new phone, I lost a lot of pictures. She has some of those old pictures that I missed. So I want her to upload to her laptop to move to her phone so she could send them to me or whatever. But the thing is we got to get that stuff off of her old phone.
Uh-huh.
So we were looking at, when she powered it up and all that stuff, old pictures. And she found the pictures
I
of
found
the
Mighty
mouse.
Mouse.
Of the mouse from the apartment that attacked her.
Oh, man.
And I swear, bro, the son bitch was like this big.
And I even
little
zoomed
ball.
in. Yeah,
super
I zoomed in. He was still this big.
He was like radius or diameter, probably. He was smaller than a silver dollar.
It was precious.
He was so cute. But, Sarah was so scared.
But he didn't believe me until it happened that following Sunday.
I was like, oh shit, he's real.
Okay, am I the asshole for not financially helping out my cheating ex-wife?
No.
Wow.
Well, does she know that you know that she's cheating?
She knew she's my ex.
Oh, yeah, that's
Well,
right.
yeah, now
no.
she's the ex. Is she the mother of your children?
That was my question. It's like, no.
I think that would have
something's-
been specified then.
Huh. Financially helping the cheat. No, why does she go to her new boy toy
Right?
for financial help? All of a sudden, the boy toy's like, no, man, this is too real. Get out.
If
Yeah.
she has kids, then yeah, you have to.
But what if they're
I mean,
not?
court
What if
order.
they're not your kids, and you didn't even get along great with those kids?
But okay, so the thing about that is that I have friends that that those kids are not their kids, and
Yeah.
like things are over, but then they're still like, I love those kids, like I want to, so they would support them financially.
They would help. But like, what if?
No,
but
I
like, what
have
if like
friends
y'all?
who like
What if? Oh, okay. What if y'all split, and you're like, damn it, but she's got kids, but they're not my kids. I also didn't even get along with those kids. We're like, hey man, here's some ice cream, and they're like, I don't want this ice cream, Michael.
by your name?
Yeah, they call you by your name. And you're just like, okay. I mean, the other day you said you wanted ice cream. You don't want that ice cream? Not from you. Okay. Like at that point when you break up and the kid's hungry, you're just like, I could have had some ice cream, kid.
That is a good question because so if you're an asshole kid, you can go hungry, but if you're not an asshole kid, then
Yeah.
you get pizza.
I mean, yeah, you're a good kid. You get their homework done on time. They don't go snooping in horror movies that they're not supposed to.
Speaking of, that's
What?
what I'm doing with the kids. We're going through all the horror movies.
For real?
They asked. They were like, "Yeah, have you ever seen Insidious Part 3?" And I was like, "Actually, I haven't. I saw 1 and 2, and then I forgot to see 3, and then the last key." So then we saw. He's like, "Okay," and then they asked me about another one. Long story short, we just finished all 4 Insidious movies. Before that, we watched I don't know what else, and Paranormal's up next, all the way through 6.
Wow. So you're even going to show them the bad one?
They're following suit.
What?
I said you're even going to watch the bad one?
Oh,
Is that part 4?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna.
Part 4s are
that
usually
one.
bad.
Yeah, no.
They're going to be like, what about part 4? And you're just like, they went to space. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just, well, we watched part 5. You wouldn't even notice there was a part 4. You won't know, right? I don't think part 4 is even connected to any of them.
You're the one that needed to tell me, man.
Shit. Okay. All right. The next one is: am I the asshole for posting "I'm at Disneyland, bitches" on social media?
No.
No. Why would you be an asshole for that?
Well, maybe some people can't afford it.
I mean, we can't, but kudos to you. It's just not.
So
it's not my gig.
You would not be like, "What up?"
I mean, sure, it would be great to go to the happiest place on earth, but I mean,
I haven't been.
I haven't been.
Sarah's quiet.
I haven't even been in the same. I haven't even been in the same state as that place.
I was like,
No,
well,
I have no desire to go.
oh,
truthfully.
okay. So even as a kid, your parents weren't like, they're gonna love this.
No,
We're
we
gonna
went to
go.
Schlitterbahn. That was my jam.
That was good.
Yeah.
Now, if we can go see Harry Potter, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude, I would totally love. I would much rather go to Harry Potter because I genuinely want to try butterbeer.
That is in Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go. I would like to go.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for not donating to childhood cancer? I just saw something really funny about this. So, are you the asshole for not donating to childhood cancer?
Well, I mean, I don't. Do you?
I do sometimes. That's funny.
Okay, Sarah.
I do sometimes too.
Oh wow, I don't think I ever have.
Why not? Just because you don't even know if it goes there? Or...
Now you know what? If they sold cookies, I probably would. I'd donate all the time, all day long.
But that's just buying cookies. That's not donating.
That's why you upcharge, and I pay $6 for a box of cookies, and $2 of those dollars go to charity. You know, I mean, come on.
Nicholas.
And I'm like, Sarah, this is great. The Girl Scouts fall out of season, and cancer falls in season.
No.
Wow.
For the cookie,
Wow.
for the cookies, Sarah.
Honey.
So why
They call it the Big C coconut. Sorry,
You're so stupid.
that was me. I'm sorry.
coconut cookies.
They call it the Big C.
So you've never given, but just because it's like, why wouldn't you? Like I did it. You know, one time I was like, the first time I did it, I remember I was like, yeah, this is for a good cause, right? Like, it helps the kiddos or whatever. Sure.
Okay, you know what? I did give at a movie theater for a pin, and I donated because I wanted the pin. And that's, I think, the only time I've ever done it.
That's still selfish.
I know, but
I wanted the pin.
you bought the pin basically.
Yeah, it was a $10 pin, and I wanted it, and I got it.
Okay,
That's still for selfish needs.
I know, but I put it on one of my vests. I have all those other things, and I was like, this would go good on this vest. And so I put it on there.
So, but why won't you donate just when you don't get anything?
I don't know. The opportunity doesn't come up as often as I...
It doesn't at our local HEB all the time.
I'm like,
Is
dude,
that what those are?
at the
Those little
grocery
barcodes?
store?
$1, $2, $3?
Sometimes
yeah, you
just
peel off
ask
a
them.
sticker for $1, $5, $10,
Yeah.
$50, whatever, and you give it to them. and
Yeah,
they
that's
add
what
it to
those
your-
are? Because I
Yes.
never read what those are for. I'm just
That's
like, why
to
would I-
fight against world hunger.
Oh, world hunger. We're talking about cancer, Sarah. Keep
It's the
up.
same thing.
It's the same. It could be cancer for kids, St. Jude. It could be hunger, whatever. Yeah.
I'm not judging you, honey, but this is a good learning lesson for you.
I'm not judging.
Hey, man,
you.
I'm
I
there
just
to pay
wanna
for
know-
groceries, man.
I
I'm
just
there.
want to know why you never get the only time that I gave this was I had the money. I was like, yeah, okay, but there have been times where a dollar does count from my bank account. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I
We've
can't.
all been there.
Yeah, I can't. So, but when I can, I do.
I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll flip the switch. Maybe I'll start giving $1 here and there.
I'm asking you why you never did, and not that there's no good answer, there's no bad answer. I just want to know why.
Because I'm a terrible, terrible person.
No, be for
Why?
real. Be for real.
I don't
Opportunity
know.
Never really.
I've
came up.
never paid attention, and unless I guess I'm getting something in return.
Unless they're dangling something in front
Yeah.
of you and like you get this
I think
and
that's
it's
what
like
it
a
is.
cheap
And I'm
pin or it's
like,
a
oh,
cheap like piece of shit.
Okay, look, if it's a Star Wars pin that's a collectible, it's dope. I'll take it.
They're lying to you and saying it's collectible, so you and you're like,
And
I'll
it,
take it.
And it works. It works. I walk away with a pin.
Okay.
See, now if it's like a Taco Bell, when they did, if you round it up to the nearest dollar, they donate that to kids' tuition or something like that.
Oh,
Or
I have
some
done that.
School education.
Mm-hmm.
If it was for something else, you'd be like, nah. Just because you're really not listening, so you just say no.
Yeah, like I have done that where whatever system is in there and there's like, you want to round up to the extra, and I'm just like, sure, go ahead. Sometimes it's 50 cents, sometimes it's 20 cents.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's almost like 95 cents. And I'm just like, sure, round it up. I don't care.
Yeah.
So maybe when they
They have
ask
to
you-
trick me. or
Okay.
something.
or
No,
make
but
it
see, he's
seem-
getting food.
You're like that's fine. Damn it, Nick. Because sometimes they're like, they did trick you. Still, they're like, okay.
I'm still getting something in return. I'm sorry. Oh, God. I'm just, this is a tell
The
about
next
me.
one is very similar. It says, "Am I the asshole for not giving to the guy who stands at the corner of the street?"
Oh, God. Okay.
No.
I have, and then they asked for more immediately. And then I vowed, I was like, I'm never giving money to
But
a
that was
hobo.
by your job. That's
It
a
was.
slump over there.
It was. And it was, I was feeling
But
generous.
most places are slums. Like they won't go to the nice places. They won't allow them to be there.
Yeah, they have
There were a
respect.
ton of hobos, homeless in Katy. Hobo is rude. So sorry.
Hey, man, they were rude. Over here.
So you used to give, but then you said that what happened?
Yeah,
you gave them.
I was going to work and I had gone and bought lunch or something, and there was a hobo outside. There's always hobos, dude, at where my old job was, and I would tell the people inside Subway, I'm like, hey, is there anything we can do about this? And it's like, I've come here 3 times this week and I've been harassed. Like at this point, I just see it as harassment. Can we make them go away? And they're like, really, we can't do this. But it is a lot of customers complain. So like this guy was like, hey, do you have any change after I came out of Subway? And I was like, yeah, sure, here. And I gave him like 60 or 70 cents. It was just change. I put it in his hand and I started to walk away. And he goes, is that all you got? And I just looked out into space, and then I turned around and I walked up to him, and he was holding his hand out with the change, and I smacked the hand. Coins go everywhere. And he was like, hey man, what the fuck? And I pointed to my warehouse, my job. And I said, you're able-bodied. They are always hiring. Go fucking get a job. And then I just like turned around and walked off. And from that day on, I was like, I am never giving money to a hobo, because seriously, if I do that and they're just like, it was the way he said it. He was like, what? You don't got no more? Like, he's lucky I didn't just turn around and sock him and be like, I'm going back to my job. Instead, I just slapped the coins out of his hand, and he probably picked them up. I don't care. Well, keep in mind, I was also going back to a job I hated.
I was having a bad day.
Every time I went to that job, it was a bad day.
Sarah, you immediately said no, so you've never given them?
There might have been 1 or 2, but
Generally, no.
yeah, generally no.
And why not?
Because I don't trust him.
What they're going to do with it?
Yeah. No offense.
Oh man, and then there's those people that are on the side of the road that like have their children with them, and they're holding up
I
the signs.
hate that so
And
much.
I'm just like, bro,
That one's hard.
I
that's
hate
hard.
that so much.
Yeah.
And it's also like, it's awkward for you when you're at the intersection waiting for the red light and you got to make the left turn, and they're just standing right there, and you're just like, I don't want to look at them. I'm going to keep looking at the red light. But should I look at my phone?
But this is the longest red light.
That's just wrong.
It makes me.
Because look
in
at
my-
what you're teaching your kids.
It makes me feel uncomfortable in my own car, and I'm not cool with that. I'm just trying to get to wherever I'm going.
They're teaching their kids, yeah, just stand on the corner and get a handout. That's already teaching your daughter, hey, go hook.
Wow.
She's not wrong.
Okay.
That's
This is going to be a hoot
with
to
the
edit.
well with the kids. You gotta. What if you just like turn up like some music, like you're at the red light and they start coming up to you or something, and you just turn up really loud, just like
And that's what they hear outside of the car?
yeah, like super loud. You're like super loud, just blaring.
Because if I'm going to blare anything, it's not going to be T Sweezy. It's going to be that. That actually sounded pretty good, whatever that was. Was that Drake?
It was mustard with Migos. I don't give to them. I just don't. And when it's with kids, I'm like, I want to now, but I feel
No,
like
that
this
should
is,
encourage them to go work harder.
Yeah, it's like I feel like this is a trick.
Especially if they look able-bodied. They're not
Yeah.
disabled in any way. They're walking up and down, and they don't have a limp. They're not slouching. They
What
don't
about
look
the
to be in
ones
pain.
sitting down and saying, "I'm a veteran"?
Now that's sad.
It is. It really,
'Cause-
I'm like, are you? But I don't know if you are a veteran. But if you are, fuck.
Because I actually worked on a gentleman that helped veterans, homeless veterans, and he said it's very hard to convince them to get help because they already feel that they have been
betrayed,
wrongly done, or abandoned or betrayed by their government.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to get any assistance because of that. So they will result to homelessness.
And it's just strange to think that they don't have any siblings or friends or anything.
That's what I used to think. I would be like, how
you
bad
literally-
did you screw up?
like,
Did
do
you
you
have
live in
nobody?
this-
No, I think a lot of it is mental illness. So if it's really bad when they were in the military,
Yeah.
probably the best, this is just me assuming, what they feel is the best defense mechanism is to just shut everyone out and literally be on their own.
Oh.
So then if a friend sees them as they're driving down the street, like, what do?
I don't know.
If I saw you on the street, you know,
Hooking.
begging for money or hooking, you know, sucking, whatever, I would stop and tell you to get in the truck.
Yeah.
And then, like, I
And
don't
I'd be
know.
like, fool, you ain't got the
He'd
cash.
fight you too.
Well, I'd be yelling at you the whole time. Be like, why did it get to this? You know?
It's like, well, it all started when I started giving to charities. Apparently, I gave too much. I couldn't support myself. And
Remember
it
that podcast we used to have? I started giving,
just
and no one gave
and
me.
I gave way too much, bro. God damn
And I got nothing for it.
it. I gave my card to the homeless, bro.
Who told you to do that?
You guys guilt tripped me. Damn. Now I've lost everything. I lost the cats, bro.
The cats
Not
are
even
gone.
me.
Yeah, Sarah, you didn't lose Sarah. Sarah left you.
And she took the cats. I came home, the cats were gone, and the toilet paper was gone.
Hey,
And I was like, nah, that's fucking low. I go to the freezer, I was like, she even took my goddamn ice cream. She didn't even like that ice cream.
No, I took your
I know
ice
she-
trays.
I know she doesn't like that ice cream.
You took the ice trays. And I'm like, this bitch. Because I'm like all about ice and having ice trays. So if she took the ice trays, I'd be like,
That was a kick. That's a kick.
Yeah, bitch.
That's what you call a kick.
You miss
Yeah.
the cats more than me? Fuck you. Taking your eyes.
For the eyes.
And now I got to go to the dollar store and get more ice trays.
No, you're too broke. You gotta leave the house. You gotta go hook.
Gosh.
I'm like, Manuel, I've hit rock bottom, bro. I don't even have money for ice trays.
I'd look at you and be like, that's the last thing you need right now.
I'm just like, bro, you don't even know what I need. I don't have ice cream. She took that. She took the toilet paper. Who does that?
Speaking of toilet paper, today my mom, I don't know what we were talking about, but we talked about toilet paper, and my mom said that back in the day, people used to wipe their butts with newspaper.
I could see that.
And I was like, what? I've been to really poor houses and like been poor myself, but newspaper.
That never happened. He's like, I've been to places where they have one ply. Never had to resort to newspaper.
Didn't the high school have one ply? Didn't schools have like one ply?
What does that mean?
That it's like very thin. toilet
Yeah.
paper.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you have double
The
ply,
cheapy stuff.
Yeah,
The
when you have double
very
ply,
cheapy.
it's 2 layers.
It's the kind you can almost see through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember in The Office when Dwight was taking one ply
Yeah.
off and he was leaving one?
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
He was, yeah.
He said, reply it.
yeah. He's like, how do I do that? Just do it.
Go in reverse.
Cranks the machine and toilet paper.
It just goes everywhere.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So I wouldn't give, and
Oh,
the reason
God.
I wouldn't give is I also like not just the working thing, but like I see Hispanics come in here and they don't have a way to work or like means or whatever, but somehow they go out there, they bust their ass, whether they're waiting for a job, hard labor, whatever, and to gather enough to be, and then they become successful. Like they make something out of themselves without the Social Security, without the help, without, and something. No, if they can scratch and claw and make their way to the top, then no. So would I be the asshole if I kept trying to wake up my boyfriend?
I don't think so.
Just more annoying.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't see that as being like an asshole thing. Like,
So-
okay, she falls asleep very easily. And there are times when she falls asleep on the couch and I'm like, hey, it's bedtime.
And you wake her up.
And I got to wake her up. She's not going to remember it, but I still kind of feel bad because I'm like waking her up. And it's like, hey, we got to go to bed.
I think this is keep waking my boyfriend up, which means it's like,
Hey, honey, can you go get me some water? It's like,
but they're
get your own
asleep.
water.
Or like, hey, you want to watch a movie?
Like, you want to feed
I was asleep.
You want to feed the pigeons? What the fuck?
I was
What?
asleep. Sarah?
I said no. She's just being more annoying. He or she, excuse me.
Like if Sarah
Or
was
during
waking me
the-
up 2 or 3 times a night, I'd be like, "What is your problem?"
And it's like, what? I just want to talk.
Just want to talk.
Yeah.
I think I automatically hear an annoying tone when I call him back to back. Because either I remember or I figure out something I need to tell him just like super quick instead of text message, or I just remembered something and I just call him. He's like, "Hello." Like, I've already heard you. What?
What now? I don't like it when Madison calls me. Not just Madison, but she used to do it a lot. But anybody that calls me, I'm like, if it could have been like a text, like text me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the phone.
Wow. But what if the other person is driving and it could have been a text message, but they're driving, so it's like I can't.
Then better be urgent. Like, why are you stopping what I'm doing? Like, why do you require my attention? Like, it better be like, hey, the ice cream is 50% off and I'm about to leave the store. Do you want it or not? You know, like, not urgent, but like, I need to know in the next few seconds.
He's like, "Hey man, I'm at the store. I'm looking at half price off on ice cream. I know your girlfriend just took all the ice cream. Do you want some of this one?"
Right. Something like that, where it's in those seconds, I need your attention right now. Otherwise, why are you stopping what I'm doing? Because you need me. Like, what, how, you know? Everything else could be a text, or you could do voice.
I guess you could do that. All right.
Am I the asshole for always talking shit about my best friend's girlfriend?
I was about to say, taking a shit? Yes.
I mean, we all have to poop. But talking shit about your best friend's girlfriend, well, how much of a bitch is she? I mean, there's got to be a reason. What, like, is she just mean to you? Is she snarky?
Now,
What?
the guy dating her would call them an asshole.
Now,
Well,
what?
he or she.
What if the boyfriend is like, this is her, like, this is my trophy woman, she is everything, but she verbally undercuts him at every turn, and then the friend is like, she's a bitch, talking shit about her behind his back.
I feel like that happens a lot. Like let's say we three lived here, right?
Yeah.
And I got on Sarah's nerves and Sarah got on my nerves, but we both like you.
Okay.
You know, so... But like, I would be talking to David and Nolan and saying like, "Man, Sarah's such a bitch. Like, she's just, you know, she does this," and then she talks to you about me like, "We need to get him out of here. Like, I fucking hate that guy," or whatever. You know, like,
What a mess.
What at that point, right? But this trio situation happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. These are really good questions. It could be viewed from both sides. You could be an asshole for doing that, but I'd imagine that there is a reason why you would be doing that. I just don't see anyone just looking at someone and being like, "I just don't like you." I mean, but it does happen.
Yeah, it's called jealousy.
Right, but that does happen.
So does this friend? Are you thinking that this friend feels second fiddle to?
Or the friend probably wants to date her.
Ooh.
Oh man,
And think of that.
the plot thickens.
Yeah.
Suddenly we're in a novella now.
Ooh.
I would say no, especially if it's to the best friend. Like, if he ever says like, "Man, your girlfriend's such a bitch," you know, then the guy should be like, "Hey, chill the fuck out with that."
A few weeks back, Mom gave me her diary from when she was a teenager. Only a couple days ago, I got around to flipping through it. Reasonably interesting to read about a snapshot of her life for those who know her, I guess. Oh, but a torn page from a different diary fell out of the middle. It's quite intriguing. A bit disturbing, actually. Friday, October 12th. Something happened today that I need to write down. I was walking home through the small park behind our house when I saw a child at play on the swing. His mother sat far away on the park bench fussing over her 2 dogs. Next to the swing was a large oak tree that towered above the swing and the playground beyond it. At first, I saw nothing out of the ordinary. The weather was overcast and I was in a hurry to get home, but for some reason I glanced back at the child that sat on the swing nearest to the tree. It stood in the shadows, pouring over the child. Its shoulders were hunched, but it was still very tall. There is no doubt in my mind that it was not human. It could feel me watching it and abruptly straightened up. I am finding it very difficult to describe its face, as it had no face in memory. But despite this, I could somehow still tell that it was staring at me. Images of my mangled body, broken bones, and torn flesh flashed through my mind. I was being sent a clear message: go away. It seemed to be smiling at me, and I have never seen anything more terrifying. It was hungry, and the child was oblivious, or at least didn't feel threatened. I wanted to do something, anything, but I was frozen with fear. The boy's mother noticed me staring and called out to me. Her dogs, which were 2 Labradors, began to bark furiously. It was only when I heard the child's panicked cries that I realized the barks were not directed at me. I looked back at the boy who was running back to his mother. A glance at the tree, and I felt more than saw that the creature was gone. The child appeared to have fallen off the swing and had a grazed elbow. I briskly walked away, but not before noticing the figure glaring at me from the branches of a different tree. I've never hallucinated before, and I don't know what could be causing hallucinations now. I'm not on any kind of medication, and I'm not a superstitious person, but I have no way of explaining what I saw. All I know is that I was scared out of my wits, and even thinking about it now, I need a cup of tea. Grace.
Wow.
And it said that was it. I asked Mom if she had known anyone called Grace in high school or at the age when she wrote the diary, and she said she didn't. I haven't shown anyone else's entry yet. Still no idea how it got in there. Mom has a few other diaries, and I'm thinking I'll check in those for any other odd stuff.
So that's very strange.
Yeah,
To have a diary entry from somebody who you don't even know.
that was her mom.
Yeah, but who is Grace?
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah, like that was her mom's diary.
Yeah,
but
she
then-
wrote the name Grace.
Yeah.
So strange.
The description in this thing sounds oddly like Slender Man, right?
Yeah, because it
Something-
was hovering over a
tall,
kid,
it was
but it
near a
wasn't. It didn't
child.
have a white face to it at all. She just said it was a black figure.
Yeah.
Something similar.
And that
to
it was
to a
tall and
Slenderman.
slim.
Yeah.
I'm imagining tall and skinny. Okay.
Momo, anybody? No,
It was a
I'm just kidding.
Shinigami.
You know, I have been thinking that maybe we should do a follow-up episode and, talk about more creepypastas. Maybe we could give more context to Blue Whale and all that stuff.
No.
Because that's how he got started.
What a title. What a creepy pastas.
I mean, I'm sure we talked about where that word came from back in the Slender Man episode where we talked about that sort of thing. Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that before. Like, I learned about creepy pastas, the term, then. I'm picturing somebody who just learned English or is learning English, and they're like, creepy pastas? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, creepy pastas. And they're like,
Like, what would be the equivalent in Mexico? I mean, obviously, they probably don't call it a creepypasta.
right. I don't know what you would, you would just say scary stories.
Yeah.
You know?
And I remember when I first heard the name creepypasta, I was like, how am I supposed to take this genre, whatever this is, seriously with a silly name like that? Mm-hmm. And then I saw Momo and I was like, oh, fuck. That's pretty creepy.
That is creepy pasta.
Yeah. I got some Dear Diary entries from children. And you know how kids say the darndest things. Like, it's true. They say the craziest, funniest things because they just don't know. 6 of those. And then I've got 7 from teenagers. This one is called The Sentient Diary. This one's really short. It says, Dear Diary, I hope you had a good day today. Well, good for you because I did not.
No.
The Irresistible Crush. Dear Diary, I know I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend, but Elias just dyed the tips of his rat tail blonde.
Ew.
Irresistible.
I think that's what the Uso brothers are doing because they cut their hair short, but they have the long hair still in the back. I think they're waiting to braid it for the rat tail.
Really?
I think so.
They're taking-
I mean,
Although they
they're-
do look
they're
really good with
Hawaiian.
their haircut. They look good. But yeah, Elias dyed the tips of his rat tail.
Ew.
And Manuel said it. Irresistible.
Irresistible.
Gross.
Dear Diary, I have no friends. Well, I guess that's not true because Jesus is my friend. But he won't talk to me either.
Nah,
You're not listening.
that's so sad.
Dear Diary, I wonder if I should be goth.
Yes.
Go kid.
If my kid wanted to be goth, I salute them. Go for it. I'll join you.
You dust off the old stuff you have.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where the fuck was that? And you go, it was in the attic. What? I didn't go in the attic. What?
She puts her arm around around you, and she's got the spike bracelet.
And I'm like, wow.
I need my trench coats back. I actually had a pleather one that reminded me of the Matrix, and I wore that a lot in the 9th grade.
Uh-huh.
And then I had my regular cloth trench coat that I loved.
Are those expensive? How much are those?
They were expensive. But
So your parents have to enable.
My parents loved me.
Yeah, they have to. Like, the parents have to enable you at that point because I've seen those boots. Yeah, the boots, the trench coat, like it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
My dad knew my style. Like no matter what stage I was in, even now he could probably shop for me. I don't know how he does it. My poor mom tried to meet the expectations, but Daddy just knew. And anything I wanted from Hot Topic, he was like, "All right."
Wow.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow. So what happened to those coats?
I don't know.
You don't know where they are?
No. And do you know what? I was so skinny and tiny then, they probably won't even fit me now. So I just need new ones.
But they would be good for your goth kid.
I know.
Ask your mom. That'd be interesting. She was like, "Oh, honey, times were hard with."
Dude, they're probably long gone.
Dear Diary, the man I marry must love Chinese food, Romeo and Juliet, and me.
No. That's right.
Dear Diary, this is the worst day of my life. Jerry quit the Spice Girls. I loved the way they sang and how they looked. I liked everything about them. And now the Fab Five is only 4. I've been crying for over an hour and I don't think it's ever going to stop. On July 8th, I'm going to the concert, but I know it won't be the same.
Yes, love, I'm with you.
How old are these?
This child really loved the Spice Girls, so I don't know.
I did too. It was very sad when she left.
I'd imagine maybe this one was probably like 11 or 12 because of how long it was.
So Jerry's the first one that departed?
Which one is Jerry?
She was the slut. She wore the British flag dress, and she had the
blonde
bright
hair?
red hair and the blonde bangs.
Bright red hair.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Baby, and then I'm thinking the Scary, and then there's the one that wears the sexy dresses all the time.
That's Posh. That's Victoria.
Okay.
Then you have Sporty Spice, and then you have
That's right.
Ginger Spice.
And
Ginger was a redhead.
Ginger was Jerry.
Yeah.
She's the only one that I can't picture. I pictured all the other ones except that one.
All
But
right.
okay. She's the one. Okay.
I'll show you.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, so now these are from teenagers. Okay. Megan is no longer my friend. I don't care if she's the only person who has a trampoline that we go every time that we're at her house. She said my nightlight was for babies. I hate her.
That bit.
See? Jerry. Ginger
Oh,
Spice.
that one's Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, why did she leave?
Ginger Spice.
Okay.
Probably creative differences.
Dear God, please give me big boobs. Later in my life, I did get big boobs, and I have since regretted asking God for boobs.
No,
God-
you need to blame your mom or daddy.
God knows what's in your heart.
I once wrote in my diary a reminder to be mad at my mom for making me go to bed early. 1, wake up. 2, get dressed. 3, stay mad at mom. 4, eat breakfast. That's so funny. Like you have to remind yourself in the morning, I'm mad at you.
Yeah. Because then mommy will do something sweet and you just get suckered into it.
But you got to
Mom.
stay mad at her though.
Yeah.
But you still get breakfast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. And fuck.
God. I had made a chart in my diary of how many of my friends had gotten their periods. I had not yet. And I called it the periodic table.
That's good.
I found my other cross earring in a random bag. I was so aggravated that I said, "There's my stupid little cross earring." What I meant to say was, "There's my stupid little earring." I did not mean what I said. Sorry, God.
Oi.
Because it was a cross earring.
Yeah.
In the 7th grade, I wrote about wanting to feel the power from a guy I liked. My mom read my diary, and I guess I was thinking that she wouldn't figure out what I wanted.
Ooh.
I mean, y'all get it, right?
I do now.
You did? Okay, yeah. Okay. She was using keywords.
Yeah.
She was, yeah, okay. Okay. Dear Diary, I am grounded to my room for a whole 20 minutes. That is literally forever. I am going to die.
Wow. Dramatic.
The glass is not full.
Poor kid. I wonder what they did. You're grounded for 20 minutes. I'm literally going to die.
Dude, I was grounded for days.
Bro, this would say what?
But okay, so they're teenagers. So this kid, that one could have been 13 when they're still like a child, you know. Yeah.
But that punishment, really? 20 minutes? That's eternity?
You know, if it happened in the 90s, I mean, you didn't have any electronics, 20 minutes was a long time for your brain.
Well, you're grounded. Even if you had electronics, they were taken away. You're grounded. How about you're grounded indefinitely?
But what if they're like, give me your phone, give me your pager, give me your Tamagotchi, go to your room. But there's a computer in there. And you're just like, fuck it, whatever. They're not going to take the computer out of my room. That's too much work.
That's exactly why my parents put the computer in their room.
Dang. Thinking ahead.
I always had to be in there. I always had to get permission first to go into their room to use the computer. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Thor, Love and Thunder is going to feature the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is it the fourth Thor movie or is it the third Galaxy movie?
I think it's going to be like in Thor Ragnarok when it featured the Hulk. It's like one of those things. The Guardians will be there and they'll be chumming it up with Thor. But it is the fourth Thor movie.
Okay.
Can I go back to when they were grounded for 20 minutes? Because I have a funny story.
Okay.
So I was grounded for something. I couldn't talk on the phone. But my parents weren't home yet. And talk about bad TV that kids shouldn't watch. I was watching The Osbournes.
Wow.
And Sharon Osbourne was talking about someone's scrotum.
Sharon was?
Yes. I did not know what that word meant.
Okay.
So I called one of my girlfriends and I asked her about what a scrotum was. Well, right when I was doing that, my mom walks in. She says, "Hey, you're not supposed to be on the phone." I said, "But I was asking about what a scrotum was."
What did your mom say?
She was more mad that I was on the phone, so she told me to get off the phone.
So she didn't even hear the question.
No, she did.
Okay.
She's just very good at dodging questions she doesn't want an answer. So like when I asked her, "Mommy, how do you tell babies apart?" And she told me it's how they cry. Only because she didn't want to tell me one has a vagina and one has a penis.
Wait, so that's it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the size of their hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Manuel looks at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So Trump is still a baby? I'm just kidding. Anyway. So yeah. I was just thinking back on that. I was thinking, oh my God. I just totally embarrassed myself. And I got in trouble again for nothing. It was not worth it to call my friend and to get in trouble again about asking what a fucking scrotum was.
Kids today just go to their phone and type in Google what is a scrotum.
But see, I didn't have a phone.
Right. And so then, but back in the day, it was like, huh.
I relied on my friend.
So why did you think your friend would know what it was?
I don't know. I think it was an excuse for me to talk to my friend who probably got me in trouble.
Yeah.
So then Mom walks down and I told her, I was just asking about what a scrotum was.
That's the best part. You said out loud the question.
I did. See?
But Mom, I'm educating myself.
They genuinely couldn't be mad at me because I was, even when I would lie back then, I was still far too honest about stupid shit. About genuine questions. Okay, we can go.
Oh my God. In the time that we were gone, the PlayStation 2 turned 20 years old. Do we have fond memories of the PS2? Did you ever own one?
I do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You do? You owned one too?
Yes.
Okay. I'm the only one that technically did not own one. I borrowed one for a very extended period of time from a friend.
Douglas's?
No, I don't think he ever had one. Well, he might have had one, but he didn't have one when he lived down the road from me. The one that I borrowed from a friend was, I think, Josh Davenport's.
Oh.
I think. Because he had one. And then I may at some point have borrowed Nolan's, but I don't think that's right.
That's what always fascinated me. Like, I couldn't afford one. My parents or whatever. Like, my situation was not right. Yeah. A PlayStation 2, yes, because we got one. But, like, a Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
I always wondered, how are there... Like, I can't even have one, but I have a friend or a kid who can, for a long time, just let me borrow theirs. And they're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, they've got so many other gadgets or they've got so much something else that they're fine with letting you have what you can't even have.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? One of the reasons why I really wanted a PS2 was because I wanted to play NFL 2K5.
Not Shut Your Mouth SmackDown.
No, because I didn't like how the PlayStation wrestling games handled versus the N64 versions. And so I was just like, I'm not even going to play those. But I wanted to play this ESPN game. And then Resident Evil 4 was ported from the GameCube to the PlayStation, PS2, and they added what would be today DLC. There was more stuff to the game, and I was like, I have to fucking play this. Yeah. But I somehow got a copy of the game, and I got a console from a friend, and I, over the weekend or something, blazed through the game, and I beat everything. And I was like, now I'm fulfilled. Now God can kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I beat Resident Evil 4 on the PS2.
I think he said, no, don't die.
I would have died happy back then. I lived a very simple life.
When we were in Mexico, for either vacation or when we were living there, my cousin and I, we'd love to play the wrestling games.
Yeah.
And so you remember WCW versus Nitro or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it?
Nitro and Thunder.
Nitro
Those
and
were
Thunder.
terrible games.
Right. One with Goldberg on it, one with Big Show on it, right?
Well, Big Show was
on the picture. Revenge was one of them, I think.
There was Revenge and World Tour.
Yeah, World Tour. There you go. And so when I would go to Mexico, my cousin was like wanting to play the game. So what we would do is we'd go to this rich kid's house we were 13 and 12 at the time.
Okay.
The kid was like 7 or 8. And we would go knock on the door, ask for the kid. I don't even know how my cousin knew this kid so little. And we'd be like, hey, can we borrow your game? And the kid would let us borrow it for like a month or so, or like 2 months.
Wow.
And then eventually this little 7-year-old or 8-year-old would pop up at our house or his house, knocking on the door and be like, hey, can I have my game back? Like, yeah, you can. Sorry.
Wow.
In Mexico, when you're 7 or 8, you can roam around like that.
Oh, okay. Before we go, I had briefly told Sarah about this story. Nintendo replaced a Game Boy for a 95-year-old woman. Kuniko Suzaka, who is 70 years old, she is a Japanese woman, sent a letter to her local paper recounting the story of her 95-year-old mother, who was a lifelong fan of Tetris and owned 3 original Game Boys over 30 years. After her last Game Boy died, Kuniko's mother's health also began to decline. The family discovered that nobody was able to fix the Game Boy because parts were difficult to come by since it was discontinued back in 2003. Finding replacements also seemed impossible. One day, her grandson mentioned Nintendo's divine customer service, or Kami Tao, but due to the troubled double meaning of Kami, which means divine in paper, the elderly woman took it to mean paper customer service. She then took it upon herself to handwrite a letter and snail mail it along with her broken Game Boy to Nintendo. A week later, Nintendo responded saying that they were unable to fix her device but did find a brand new Game Boy in one of their warehouses. With compliments, they sent the new console to the woman at no cost and wished her a long life. Suzaka repaid Nintendo by sending a photo of her happy elderly mother playing with her new console. 4 years later, Suzaka's mother passed away at the age of 99. She retained all of her mental faculties and continued to play Tetris at least twice a day. The family said that they will forever be grateful for Nintendo's divine customer service.
That was great.
Yep.
And she died playing Tetris.
Yep. She played it at least once or twice a day, and she only played Tetris. She just loved it. And to think that all these years later, Nintendo still has brand new, unused Game Boys in one of their warehouses just lying around.
Why didn't they just buy her a smartphone with the Tetris?
Because I think when you're 96, 95 years old, you don't want to adapt. You know, this is what I like. I want this. And if I could find another one of these, I want this. Because they could have gotten her, a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advance that probably would have had Tetris on it. But the grandmother, was so used to the big original brick. And they're just like, she's at this age. This is what she wants. If we could give that to her, she'll just be happy the rest of her days. Mm-hmm. My goodness, kitty. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we ride off into the sunset?
Apparently, coronavirus is positive on toilet paper.
Okay.
What? It's positive?
Mm-hmm.
What does that
like
mean?
it was found on toilet paper.
From Wuhan?
I don't know. I didn't read the article. I think it's silly, but I'm just thinking all these people bought sanitization stuff, antibacterial, toilet paper, and water, and completely out of stock. And the fact that one of them is tested positive for corona. That's crazy.
Okay.
There's this lady. Before we ride off.
Okay.
I sell cruises.
Yeah.
With 2 people with money.
Yes.
She told me she called in to reschedule her cruise. She doesn't want to go on a cruise right now. She said, reschedule my cruise to another day. And I gave her options. The first option was you can go to Mexico, Baja, Mexico if you want. And she said, no, I just went to Mexico in December and caught the coronavirus.
Wow.
What?
And I said, when did you go? And she said, I went early December 2019. I said, so you went, you got the coronavirus? She's like, yes. I was me and my son were sick. We were in bed and it was awful. And I'm like, but you're okay now? Yeah. So you recovered? Yeah. I was like, so then we should study your blood or you so that because you recovered. She's like, yeah, I feel fine. I feel great. But those days were hard. And I was like, do you know what you're saying? Like, there's no vaccine? And she's like, yeah, I know. And I was like, so people that are sick now should recover? Yeah, they will. They just go through a hard time, but they will. And I was like, okay. I have it recorded.
Wow. Okay. Well, when we go off the air, I would like to hear this.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear just how positive she was about this.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is my job.
So next week, we are going to talk about celebrity conspiracy theories. And this will probably focus on a couple of stories of like, did this celebrity die? And did they get replaced by somebody?
Bum, bum, bum.
Because I've heard Avril Lavigne has died and I heard Eminem died. But, who knows?
Beyonce, Eminem, Avril.
All these people are dead.
Mm-hmm.
But the world just kept on going. Mm-hmm. All right, so that'll be next week's episode, Celebrity Conspiracy Theories. And that's it. Till next time, his name was Manuel, my name was Nick, her name was Sarah. Bye.
Bye.